Hi everyone, in this final video we're going to be making the lid for our Trinket box, which will include the handle that will fit across there and the plywood lid that will go into these grooves. So if you can see the box we've got right now, if I can zoom in, feature's not really working for some reason. Anyway, we're going to make the lid for our Trinket box. Alright, so I've come across to the sketch pad and we're going to make a rectangle for our piece. Before I do that, actually, I just realised I want to go to View, go back to Top. I want to make this as simple as possible. Okay, come across to the sketch pad, choose Rectangle. And the rectangle I'm going to be making is 150 by 150 by 18 millimetres. 150 by 18. So what I'm going to do is click on here, give myself some room to come across. So 150, it's currently at 140, I'll go to 150, press return. The other number's highlighted, and for that one I'm just going to type 18 because that's the number I want. Press return, and then click exit sketch. All right. Next thing we need to do is I need to add 17 millimetres of thickness to it, 17. So zoom in if you want, click on the face, those arrows again, click and hold, extrude it up, type 17 and return, and then click anywhere just off the face here. All right, now when we're working with this, we want to put a groove in it, and we need to make sure we put it in the groove of the face that's the face is 17 millimetres high. So if you remember, this one was 18 wide, this is 17, and we can confirm that again. Click on that line, 17 millimetres high. Click on this line here, tells us down here it's 18 millimetres. So again, 17 by 18. All right. We want to put our groove into the face that's 17 millimetres. So put your cursor on there, hit the spacebar key, and we've now got our sketch pad. All right, exit the sketch. Come across to Tools, go to Offset Edge, make sure it's set to single. Okay. Occasionally, I just want to tell you, occasionally even though it's set to single, and you click on the line, just come across here and check that it's still set to single. Occasionally it will think that you accidentally chose single and you meant to choose loop, and it will change it automatically for you. Just make sure it hasn't done that and it's still on single. All right, got that there. I need to drag this down, offset this line 5 millimetres, so type 5 and return. Okay, and just click off. And then we're going to offset, click on that line you've just made. Make sure that only the line is highlighted, not the face. It's the line, click on that. Make a copy, drag it down 5 millimetres and return. And we're done. Just click end of sketch. Okay. Now we want to turn those two lines into a groove like we did last time. So just put it on an angle. Put your cursor in between those two lines. Make sure it's not on this section here or this section, but in the middle there. Left click, push it in 5 millimetres. Oh, and that's gone straight to 5, so I'll press return, click it off, and I'm done. So that's the handle for our lid that's been made. What we're going to do now is I'm going to make the lid on the design here, and we're going to slot it into that groove. All right, so what we're going to do is, again, I guess we should go back up to View. You don't have to keep going back to Top View, but I guess gives you some experience of working with a different perspective. So go to Sketch, Rectangle, click some space where you're not going to sort of run into anything else, just here, left click and release, drag it out. Now you can see there, that top dimension that's highlighted in blue is currently 160 is actually where I want that one to be. Okay, so I'm just going to press return. Now it's clicked over to here. I want this one to be 224. So this is one of the ones where I'm not going to be able to snap to 224 because it only goes up in increments of 10. All right, because I made each of these squares 10 millimeters. So I'm going to type 224 because that's how long we need the lid to be. Press return, and then we're going to exit the sketch. All right, now put it at a slight angle, click on the face, and we're going to extrude it up, and we're going to make it 3 millimeters thick. So just coming up, I'm going to type 3, turn, and there we go. And then just click off on the workspace. All right, next step, we need to insert this edge of this lid, short edge, the 160, into this groove here. All right, so we're going to go to transform, align, select the plywood. It's there. Click next. Spin around. Now I could use this edge here, or this one, but simply because that one's facing that way, I might as well use that one there. Zoom in, then you want this little narrow face here. Okay, so see it goes highlight, so click that there. Spin around, zoom in, and you want the inner face here, okay, of the groove. To there, and it's done. Now what you'll find is when you align two faces, so we aligned the edge of this end edge of this plywood lid to the groove, it automatically centers it. So this is 160 wide from this edge to this edge, 160 millimeters. This is only 150 from here to here, so that's 10 millimeters less. So what that means is there's 5 millimeters poking out here and 5 millimeters poking out here, and that's actually what we want. Okay, we want that to happen. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to slot this into here using the same method. Okay, so if we come across to transform, align. Now hold the shift key down, select that piece and that piece. Okay, they've got to move them together. We don't want to separate them. So hold the shift key down, click on one, click on the other, then click next. And then all we're going to do is we're going to click on this end here, so the opposite end to the handle. All right, we're going to click that edge there. You probably guess where that's going now. It's going to go into the groove, the back of our box. So this is the front of the box here. This is the back. So we're going to do, let's get that out of the way. You can see I'm highlighting that back face there. Puts it in. And we're done. Now what you'll notice is there's a 3 millimeter gap there. All right, now I did that on purpose because that's actually how your Trinket box is going to be, because the thickness of the blade removes 3 millimeters of timber. When I cut that piece off this piece here, which I do on the table saw, then we bring them back, the width of the blade actually removes 3 millimeters of timber, so that this piece plus this piece started off at 90, but once I've cut it, the 3 millimeter thickness of the blade removes 3 millimeters, so now it's only, we put those two together, it'll only come to 87. All right, so we've got that 3 millimeter gap there. And that is our Trinket box. All right. One thing we can do, if I can find, if we go up to modelling, we go to visualisation, we've now got all these colour features that we can make our box. So, and there's all kinds of materials. What we're doing is we're rendering it, giving it a bit more lifelike. At the moment it's just this dull grey colour. So if we go to choose wood, now we're going to do it accurately. So what I want to do is, you can see it's got all this birch, birch veneer, cherry, etc. Ours is going to be made out of pine. So if we go down to until we find pine board. Now, clear coat pine board, that means it's been, you can see it's got a bit of a shine on it, these shines here. That means that this will represent pine timber that's had a clear coat finish put on it to make it shiny. So that's what we want to do. So if we click that, bring it across onto there, bring it across again onto this piece. To there. And then again over onto the back piece. Now I've left the lid because I think we could do pine veneer. Yeah, there's no pine. Plywood's kind of like veneer. It's a bunch of veneers stuck together. So clear coat pine veneer. I'm going to click on that, put that on the lid. It's a slightly different type of grain and lighter colour. And then at the base, we do the same. All right, and it's shining brightly. And that is a pretty good representation of what your Trinket box is going to look like. All right. All right, thanks very much for that, and I will see you soon.